And we are live. Hi, everyone. It's Wednesday night once again here in New Jersey, and welcome to another episode of Getting Candid with Rochie. Now, before we start this show, I would like to apologize for you guys because we were supposed to have a show last week, but I have to cancel last minute because I was having some allergy attacks. My eyes were so swollen and I've been sneezing the whole day. I know it's winter time, but it happens. And I'm sure my guests already know how it feels like. So she was like, I'm fine. We can reschedule it, no problem. And I'm thankful for that. And also, guys, if you are new here on the show, welcome. I'm Rochie Desagun, and I am the person behind the blog, The Frugalista Mom. And as you know, our live is now available on YouTube. Yes, you can watch it at the Frugalista Mom channel. And you can also go to thefrugalistamom.com for recaps soon. And also, we are live at my Facebook chat, not Facebook, my Facebook page, which is Allergy Friendly Home. So, before we go on, I would like to say thank you so much for a great year. I know 2020 has been a crazy year for all of us, but I just want to let you know that I'm here to feature some inspiring people who made 2020 not only exciting but also very special by doing something out of the box, by doing something worthwhile. And guess what? I have another 16-year-old here in the show. And I think you will be excited to meet her because during this pandemic, she actually started an organization which is called Foodology Alliance. Yes, at 16, while doing virtual learning, she has she has some time to make an organization, right? So, without further ado, I want to introduce to you tonight's guest. She's the founder of Food Allergy Alliance, Sophie Malik. Hi, Sophie. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction, Rochie, and thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show. I'm so excited about it. and
Yes, I'm so excited to have you because you know what? I think we talked probably 2, 3 months, 4 months ago. See, I can't keep track anymore. But we had that one, and I'm very excited because we have a fellow New Jersey girl again, another Jersey girl who's making a difference in her community and in the food allergy community as well. So, Sophie, take it away. Please let us know who you are.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, I'm Sophie. I'm a junior in high school, and as Rochie mentioned, I'm from New Jersey. I have several food allergies myself, and I'm very involved in the food allergy community. I've done a number of different things, including launching Food Allergy Alliance in July, which was really exciting. Aside from that, I love to cook and bake, especially around this time of year with the holidays. And I also love to travel, which has been a little bit more difficult with the pandemic, but it's something that I still enjoy. And some of my favorite subjects in school are math and science. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be able to, raise awareness about food allergies and make everybody in the food allergy community more positive. So thank you so much for having me.
You're very much welcome. Okay, guys, here you go. She is only 16. And I know for us adults, we think 2020 is tough. Most kids, actually, even teenagers, find it tough too because going virtual is different for them. I mean, I can't even imagine going virtual if I'm in high school right now. So let's see what this kids has been doing for a while. But before that, um, you, you talked earlier about food allergies. So, what are your food allergies?
Yes, so I have a whole list. I'm allergic to peanuts, tree nuts, sesame, shellfish, green peas, chickpeas, and lentils. And I found out about these different allergies at different points in my life. When I was super little, like a baby, I didn't know about my food allergies. And then when I was 3 years old, I had an anaphylactic reaction to a pistachio. And at that point, my parents took me to an allergist, and they said to avoid all other nuts and any eggs and other allergens, just to be on the safe side. And then when I was around 10 years old, I had another allergic reaction to sesame. And that's how I found out about that allergy.
Oh, so you've had reactions, but you didn't know. You were just throughout the years that you experienced that you're allergic to certain things. So it's
Pretty
not
much.
okay. So since not as a baby, because I know some kids are like, since a baby they never really had, peanuts and tree nuts as far as. But before you were able to, do you still remember when you had peanuts or when you have nuts? Do you
Um,
remember?
I don't think I had any of those things when I was super young, just because of the allergist's advice to stay away from all those things after my reaction. So, yeah,
No, no memories, right?
exactly. It was a long time ago.
No, because actually, when my kids are, I think when they were 7. So my oldest was 7 when she was properly diagnosed. So she remembered, but a few times. But have you? Speaking of that, because my daughter outgrew all her allergies when she reached her puberty. The puberty. How about you? Have you outgrown any allergens?
I have actually.
Mhm.
So I outgrew my egg allergy. I used to be allergic to eggs. And that was really exciting for me because I could have all different eggs and baked goods. And the first thing I ate was a Boston cream donut from Dunkin' Donuts with the cream filling. And I also outgrew my almond allergy. And then a bunch of other nuts like hazelnuts, pine nuts, macadamia nuts, all of those. I don't know if I was allergic to them in the first place, but I was told to avoid them. So over the last 2 years, I've been slowly trying each different kind of those nuts to find out if I was actually allergic to them, since I'd never actually eaten them. And it was good news for all of them. I found out I wasn't allergic to any of them. So I've been eating a lot of Nutella and almond butter and things like that to celebrate.
Yeah, that's exciting because I know, like, for those who had food allergies and then they outgrew it or they were able to try it. They were, because my daughter, when she knew that she was she outgrew her dairy. That's child number 2. She was like so excited to finally had real ice cream.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be able to try something you've never had before and
Yeah,
feel
because
like you can be a part of it.
yeah, because I was like, I've always had, the sorbet, or she always had, because that's when they were younger, I used to make like avocado ice cream.
Oh, wow.
So she was like, because it's avocado and coconut. So she's like, oh my goodness, I finally found an ice cream that's not avocado. And now she never eats avocado anymore.
Oh,
She's like, you're so not giving me that ice cream. I mean, she, at that time it worked, but now she's like, no, it's a totally different ball game when you can have the real thing.
definitely.
So, can you share with us a memorable food allergy moment? Maybe a good one?
Absolutely. Yes. So over the summer, it was 2 years ago, I think, I had the opportunity to meet with my local congressman and advocate for his co-sponsorship of the FASTER Act. And that was a really cool experience for me. So for those of you who aren't aware, the FASTER Act is a bill that would make food allergy labeling stricter, and it would call out sesame as one of the top allergens on food allergy labels. And for me personally, that was a huge deal because I have a sesame allergy, and reading ingredient labels and not having it called out can be really difficult. So it would make a huge impact on my life and also the lives of everybody with a sesame allergy. So I told my congressman my story and having a reaction to sesame. And at the end of our conversation, he did agree to co-sponsor the bill. So this was so memorable for me because I just felt like I was doing something that would be able to impact not only myself, but also everybody else in the US who has a sesame allergy. So it was just a really cool moment for me and really inspirational to know that even congressmen and people involved in politics are willing to support people with food allergies.
Yeah, that is awesome because actually, two of my kids have sesame allergy, child
Okay.
two and child four. Child four, I think outgrew it because when he had it when he was still a baby, but now he's able to get. Well, he hasn't really had tahini or anything that has strong sesame on it, but I think sesame oil he can have it, and yes, those bread that has that sesame on top because I know a
Mhm.
few times he was able, because I would say my baby, well, the youngest one, he would say like, "Oh, I can have this burger," because it's not oil at that time because to nuts. I'm like, okay, that's good. And then there's 2 or 3 sesame on top of the bun, and
Oh,
he's like, "Why?" Like why? It's not.
exactly.
It's not even for the taste. It's not. And he's like, "If you tell me decoration, it's not even pretty. Only 4 pieces." And it's one of those funny moments. For some people, they find it amusing or funny, but it is really a struggle. Like a whole burger can go to waste because you can't
Exactly.
have that one for the risk of a reaction, right? And
Yeah, I felt that way too, definitely. Even if the label says may contain sesame, you don't even know. The product could be something like a cookie that, could obviously not contain any sesame, but the labeling of may contain it, it kind of creates like a risk that, a lot of people with food allergies are not willing to take by eating that cookie. So definitely, I hope the bill ends up doing well.
yes, yeah, we have to, especially now. And actually, I like that because when it comes to skincare as well, because now we're more into like, the organic and natural ones. And I've noticed a lot of brands have been using sesame oil in their products. And child two is
Yeah.
so allergic, so I'm like, I'm not because it will cause her eczema to flare up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had any like sesame on skincare products?
I haven't experienced that, no, but I've definitely talked to people who have, and even just food allergies and skincare is a big problem. There are all different kinds of nut oils too, even in like soaps. So it can be really difficult. You also have to read ingredient labels not only on food but also on skincare products.
I know, because I remember that one because it's one of my first questions with our allergist is like, do I have to remove it? 'Cause, and he's like, there's not much studies on it. It really depends on the person. But he told me a story that he went on vacation with his family, and one of his children is actually allergic to tree nuts.
Okay.
So the mom
Mhm.
bought like brought with them, and it's I think I don't know if it's Bahamas or somewhere. It's really out of the country, so
Mhm.
it's supposed to be 1 week, one whole week of that experience. So they went there and then put sunscreen on, and
Mhm.
of course he never realized that one that all of a sudden his daughter was all red and like like heating up in that one. So they went to the hospital, and he's like, you know, it's like, I'm crazy. I'm an allergist. I should know this.
Yeah.
But it's like it's the wife who bought it, and she's like, no, because it's a new one and it says all natural, blah blah blah, but
Yep.
she never paid attention. And then he just said they spent the whole week, in the hospital.
Oh.
Because it's a few days before, she would, and he was like, so it depends on you. You might get a reaction, you may not, but you know what? You have to be really cautious about it because it's
Absolutely.
crazy. And he's like, I'm a doctor, I'm an allergist. I should have known this.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. Anyway, how about a not so good story? Any like crazy but I said, you know what, you don't forget those crazy, those sad stuff because it helps you grow, right? So,
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I would say a not so good story would be when I had my first reaction to sesame when I was about 10 years old. And I was having dinner. It was a regular night, and my mom had purchased a new kind of bread from the store that I had never eaten before. And the bread was completely safe for all of the other allergens that we knew I had at the time. But after taking just one bite of it, I felt a little bit off and my mouth felt kind of tingly and I just didn't feel right. And I thought I might be having an allergic reaction. And a couple minutes later, I vomited, and my mom ended up having to give me an EpiPen in the middle of our kitchen when I was 10 years old. So it was kind of a traumatic experience at that age. But I will never forget that moment because it was extremely scary and I didn't really understand what was going on. But like you said, even though it was kind of scary, it was in a way good for me to have that experience because I know the warning signs of an anaphylactic reaction now. So if I ever, hopefully not, but if I did have one in the future, I would kind of know what to feel and I could act proactively. And I'm also, that much more careful because of this experience. And I feel like I've learned from it, like you mentioned.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's good that you learned something from it, but it's not good for a reaction because you know what? Because some people may not realize it that some reactions can only be it. I mean, I would say itching, which is common for most people, but it is really scary because it could really sometimes drop your blood pressure, heart rate, and everything. And yes, we lost a lot of, I would say, children and even teenagers and even young adults. We had that in the news that they lost their lives through an anaphylactic reaction. So it is serious stuff.
Absolutely.
And now having all of those things, now that you had that, do you think food allergies is a handicap for you from doing what you love?
I would say that having food allergies is definitely not a handicap for me. I'm happy to say that. I'm still able to do all the things that I love and, feel included in those activities too. And this is I've always felt that way. Like even from a young age, my mom would give me a separate cupcake to bring with me when I went to people's birthday parties to make sure that I could also be included and have something that they were also having at the same time. And also, I think that cooking really helps me feel empowered, having food allergies. And that's also something that I love. So it works out really well because it gives me a chance to recreate dishes or flavors that I normally can't eat out, but I can make them in my own home and know exactly what's going into everything I make. And I feel 100% safe with it. And it kind of gives me like a sense of control over food and develop like a positive relationship with it. And people with food allergies don't always have a positive relationship with food because it can be scary at times. But I think that has really helped me kind of feel like it's not a handicap. And I also love cooking, so that helps too.
Okay, that's awesome. So speaking of cooking, what is your favorite dish to make?
Let's see. I don't know. I would say maybe any like sort of pasta dish. I really like making homemade pasta. I also found a kale pesto recipe recently that has been very popular in my family over quarantine. I love to bake too, so I like to make cupcakes and cookies and all that kind of stuff too. I'm really up for anything. I try a bunch of different things.
See, that's good. You know what? That's something I want most parents, especially, like me, because personally, I don't have food allergies. So, as a parent, most of the time, I would say during my first few years of being an allergy mom, there is that guilt feeling that, if only I could remove her allergies, I could just, have it for me, typical mom thing. And for those parents right now who are, who have younger kids, because now I would say younger kids because my oldest is older than you. So I've been in the food allergy community for a while. For those who have younger kids, don't be afraid to try food, especially if you're young, just because you have food allergies. You could say, yeah, you are allergic to this one. But mostly it's just, I would say top 8 is a lot, or top 9 with the sesame is a lot. But there are thousands of food more that you could try. Because I know most of the time they would have this thing like, oh, my child is allergic to bananas. So not bananas. Maybe I'll put peanuts, right? So it's like, oh, my child is allergic to peanuts. It's a legume. It's close to peas. It's close to this one. If you are, I mean, you are allergic to peas, right? To green
Yep.
peas.
Hmm.
Yeah. So if you knew that you are allergic to green peas, then you avoid it. But if you don't have reaction, like my kids can safely eat chickpeas, green peas, or other types of beans, you know what? Try feed them, because the
Hmm.
thing is, they could be, you could react, you cannot, but don't be afraid. Because sometimes what I notice is that some moms right now, when you say their kids is allergic to, maybe I would say 10, 9, maybe they're allergic to 9, they would only give 9 food to their child. Like they only get chicken. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you not giving pork, or why don't you try this one? They're like, oh, because it could like, oh, because he's allergic to soy, and they eat the soy, the cows eat the soy. And I'm like, yeah, but but
Yeah.
try it first, because
Yeah.
what happens, the more they limit their children,
Hmm.
and sometimes they're not allergic to it, so why limit, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
definitely
so yeah, so just be adventurous, don't limit yourself for when it comes
exactly.
to food, because it's really like, try, I know it's a trial and error. I know you would hear stories that they reacted the first time, but you know what, we never know, like, if they're allergic or not, unless they had the reaction or this one. But don't just limit yourself, be adventurous, just like Sophie, right? You can cook.
Exactly. I mean, there are so many different foods out there, and especially with cooking, what you can create from those foods is just, it's special to be able to do that with food allergies and still feel like you can have such a broad spectrum, even though you're just avoiding a couple things, but you can still have such a variety of foods. I agree. That's really important.
Yeah, because that's what, the other, this is one something I want to point out, because I would say, when I had a guest who are teenagers now, because sometimes it's hard for a mom to talk. It's really, now that you are speaking up for their children, you knew how it felt like. So you're like most of the time I would ask, if you are this one, what will you say? No, if you can't say it in front of your mom, what can you say now? Because you knew how it is. And I would say the younger kids would really benefit from your experiences, right?
Yeah, I hope so. And that's what I hope to do.
It's like, it's an experience, because you now can talk, unlike like a 5-year-old where they're very dependent, they just agree with their parents. Now you have your opinions. Now you had your set of experiences that you could convey in a special way. So
Yeah.
speaking of that, I would like to ask you, what inspired you to be active in the food allergy community? Because I know some kids wouldn't, they have food allergies, but they don't want to be way associated with food allergies, so they would do other things. But on your part, you chose to embrace the food allergy community. So what inspired you?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. I would say it was mainly just my support network that really inspired me. I feel like I'm so lucky to have such a strong network of support when it comes to my food allergies, whether that be my parents or my friends. They're all just extremely understanding and helpful when it comes to my allergies. And also, my sister, who is 2 years younger than me, happens to have all the same food allergies that I do, which is kind of crazy. But because of that, I never felt like I was truly alone going through my life with food allergies, because whenever I couldn't eat something or participate in an activity with food, it was probably likely that my sister couldn't either because we have the same allergies. So I never felt truly like alone or excluded from anything because of that. But I do realize that a lot of people are not lucky enough to have such a strong network of support. And living with food allergies can really be challenging sometimes. So I wanted to become active in the food allergy community to kind of provide people with that sense of support and community that has helped me so much.
Now, speaking of that support group, Will you tell us more about Foodology Alliance?
Absolutely. So in July of 2020, I founded a virtual support group called Foodology Alliance. And the mission of this group is really to provide support and connection for anybody who has food allergies or is curious about them. So our members are encouraged to have honest conversations about difficulties and struggles, but also mentor one another and share ideas and ask questions too, because I feel like we can all learn a lot from each other. And the group is really open to anybody. I mean, whether you're a mom or dad of a child who has been newly diagnosed with food allergies, or you're a teen or adult with food allergies, or even if your girlfriend or sibling or spouse has food allergies, Foodology Alliance is really a perfect place for you. And the main things that we do are we hold group meetings over Zoom because of COVID, with like 4 to 6 people every month. And these meetings include other teens with food allergies who are our group leaders. And during these meetings, we really discuss all aspects of life with food allergies. That might be going to school with food allergies, or parenting, or how to manage social situations and parties and events, and even more. And our group leaders are also always around to answer questions or give advice or help anybody who needs help. The website is thefoodallergyalliance.org. So if you want to check it out and anybody wants to join, feel free to email me or contact me through the website. And we'd be really happy to have you.
Okay, so guys, it's foodallergyalliance.org. Actually, in the description for this video, I already included the link.
Okay.
And also, yeah, it's there. But if we post it on YouTube soon, it's already there as well. So how do they become members of this
Okay,
group?
yeah. So there's a contact form on the website, and you can just put in your name and your email and just write in the message that you would like to join the group, and I'll get a notification of that, and I'll email you shortly and confirm that you're joining, and then I'll add you to our email list, and you'll get notifications for the monthly meetings and anything else that I might send along.
Okay, guys, I think she said it. I mean, she didn't mention it, but it looks like it's free to join, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, it's free to join.
No, because actually I've known that because I've been a food allergy mom before. There are groups that you had to require like a membership fee to participate. So this one is actually free, and it's not on Facebook. I mean, I know there's some groups in there. I do have a group on Facebook as well, but sometimes you have to have, I think, deeper connections if you do via Zoom, because I know a lot of support groups. There's a gluten-free support group that does that as well. So it's a good, I think it's a good practice outside Facebook because you're doing it through Zoom, right?
Yep, through Zoom.
Okay. Through Zoom. So it's more, I would say, more personal, and it's a smaller group. So you can share more, and you're not scared to ask a question, unlike in most Facebook groups that it's open to the whole 10,000 people in members in the group. So anyway, that is a good one. So guys, don't forget, it's foodallergyalliance.org, and it's free to join. It's support group for not only with people with food allergies, I would say, and also parents or adults who have food allergies, and also those who have friends or loved ones who have food allergies. Now, do you screen the age of your members?
They can be any age, really. It's completely open. So it's really helpful to have a spectrum of different ages. We have people ranging from other teenagers who are group leaders in the group right now to people who are parents of teenagers. So it's really helpful to have those different perspectives, and everybody can kind of learn from each other that way and share their opinions. And with such a small group, it really does have a community feel to it. And I really hope that everybody is able to feel supported and get their questions answered in this group.
That is awesome. Now, it's Christmas time. See, I got Santa. Where is that? I got Santa here. No. So Christmas is just here. So how do you celebrate your Christmas normally?
So normally, my family travels to see my grandparents for Christmas, and they live in Indiana. And my cousins and my aunts and uncles, we all come to my grandparents' house on Christmas morning. And we have a big brunch and open presents and bake Christmas cookies and just all get to see each other because we don't see each other that often. So that's the main way we celebrate. This year it's going to look a little different. We're going to have to see each other over Zoom. My family's not going to travel this year, but I'm excited to have my first Christmas at home too. I feel like that'll be an experience I remember.
Oh, that's exciting. So you've always been traveling. So if you're in the airport, like around Christmas holiday, around that, I would say the peak of holiday travel.
Definitely. Yeah. It's very busy.
So what are I know you got food allergies, but what are the staples that you have in your holiday spread or your Christmas table?
Yeah. So we usually do something, my family's Italian, so we'll do like some sort of pasta or lasagna for Christmas Eve dinner. And then for the brunch on Christmas morning, my Nana and my sister and I have a tradition of making cinnamon rolls homemade. So we make them on Christmas Eve and then bake them in the morning and glaze them too. And that's a really special experience for me because we make 2 whole pans of 24 rolls, and everybody in my family gets to enjoy them. But my sister and I can partake too because we've made them and we know they're completely safe for our allergies. So that's a really cool thing to just feel like we're included in that too. And then another thing we do every year is we make sugar cookies with buttercream frosting, and we dye the frosting a bunch of different colors and then frosted cookies that are in a bunch of different shapes, like snow globes or snowflakes, anything like that. Just decorate them with festive sprinkles and stuff like that.
That sounds fun. See, guys, she has food allergies. She just told you, right? But we're talking about food here. Now, that's what I like because I do have a lot of Italian friends, and when it comes to food and Italian, they go together. We always talk about food.
Absolutely.
And see, one thing I like about that, she has food allergies, but she never mentioned that what she can't have. She just told you about sugar cookies, cinnamon rolls, what else? Pasta.
Exactly.
So now I'm getting hungry. Okay, no, it's already late. No more eating. So is there something that you really like to? You would say a recipe that's uniquely your own that you've been putting on the table, or have you done something like? This is Sophie's dish. Have you had that one?
I don't know if there's a dish in particular that's my specific one, but I would definitely say the cinnamon rolls that we make every year are kind of my sister and my Nana and I work on them, but this year it's just going to be my sister and I. And my sister doesn't have as much baking experience, I guess, so I'm going to be kind of the leader of that. So that's kind of what I bring to the table, I guess. And that's a big project. It's like 2 days of letting the dough rise and everything. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
I know. That's like you're doing the traditional, not from the pop-up can.
Exactly.
So that will be exciting, and maybe you're gonna show it on Zoom. Nana, I just made this one, right?
Exactly. We'll send pictures and stuff.
That is so nice. Now, if you have one wish for 2020, because I know everybody has been crazy. Actually, they want to get rid of 2020 now.
Yeah.
But if there's one wish for 2020, before it goes, what will it be for you?
I would say that my main wish would just be that some normalcy returns to our society. I mean, I feel like 2020 has been such a difficult year for all of us in so many different capacities. And I'm hoping with the successful COVID vaccines and also just the chance for a fresh start next year, the world won't return completely to normal because I know that will take a long time, but we'll start to go in that direction and start to go on an upward trajectory. to a point where people are able to get together and feel happy and safe again. So that would be my main wish, I would say.
That's so nice. And you know what what I liked about this conversation is that Sophie is very positive, and it's hard right now because I know many teenagers, even adults, are going cuckoo on 2020 because it's really a depressing year. Like for me, when 2020 started, not started. You know, I'm very hopeful. I have all these plans, and then by it's not even the end of the first quarter, by March
Yeah.
everything just stopped. And I have a full calendar. I have 4 kids. I have at that time I do my work. I blog, and I was I have so many things lined up for me, um, shows to go to. And then I actually am a drama mom, so we were supposed to have a show first week of April. So, and
Mhm.
then my other, that's for my middle school one. And then for my high school, I do have, they were supposed to have the show the week that it canceled. They
Oh,
canceled it, it's the week. It's actually their show. I think we were, yeah, it was Monday or Tuesday that we stopped at that time. We got the
okay.
lockdown. Their
Yeah.
show is on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday that week.
Oh, oh no.
So,
So
so
sad.
yeah, so it was one of those like, what will I do now? And for
Mhm.
me, because I consider myself like a big planner. So, because
Mhm.
I have 4 kids, I have to plan everything by the dot, especially with all their extracurricular activities. It's by the dot.
I
Like
bet.
if you miss dropping one kid will be late already. Or if you switch it, it's not gonna work. So I'm so used to that. And then in 2020, everything was just wiped clean, and
Yeah.
like I'm like, what will I do? And it is really, and that thing for me is depressing because now, like a calendar that was for me like packed, all of
Mhm.
a sudden we're home. And then actually, I was very fortunate because our school district already had a plan before the lockdown.
That's really
So but they were prepared for 2 weeks. So
okay.
at least the first when they say lockdown on when they say Monday, it's not even Monday, I think Tuesday. By Monday, they already cleaned the whole school. So the kids went Monday just to get all their stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
So they were ready. They got their Chromebooks, they got everything. Like it, I was fortunate that our district was ready.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to look for a pair of sneakers like during COVID time. Or like I don't have to worry because they actually were able to get all their stuff Monday. Because they said clean it up, because if ever you will go back after 2 weeks. Their main intention at that time is really to just clean up.
Yeah.
But it was a good thing that they were prepared right away. But for me as a mom, I was not prepared. Like what happened. I mean, they were logging in this one, but my schedule was totally off. Like I used to work 9 to this one, and now I can't use the internet because everybody is, at that time, I don't know. There's something about the internet that when everybody uses it and they're all like on Zoom, on Google Meets, everything will just freeze. So, and it's 6 of us in the house. So it's like 6 people all in Google Meet. So who suffers? Me. They're like, Mom, can you just work like after 2 o'clock? So it was, for me, it's like, yeah, I could do that because I'm flexible, but it's no, you just ruined my whole schedule.
It's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't be home, you know that, right? And but it was really a depressing moment. But what I liked about you, and I would mention it, Jake de Guzman, the one that I had in the previous show. If you haven't seen it, you can see it show. You could see it on YouTube, and also I would say the girls, because it's I think 6 of them or 7 of them from Securing Safe Food. These are all teenagers. You are all high school students, and high school can be like a crazy Yeah, it is a crazy stage. You're always busy. You got your extracurricular, you had your friends, you have that, and you have all the energy in the world for that matter. So when 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 you were put in that situation, like all you, Sophie, and all of them, you were able to do something very, very productive. I mean, starting our organization, not only you, but also securing safe foods. They started doing, you know, for you guys, you just started this group, this nonprofit. I mean, some adults can't even start a nonprofit all their life in their 40s or 50s. I don't want to say something bad about it, but it's something that you could do, and it's what 2020 has done for most of us. It gave us an opportunity because we had like a clean slate.
Exactly.
And for you guys, you were able to use that time and energy on something that could really make a difference in the community. And for that, I'm really so proud, and I really love to support you because I would say you're giving us hope. You're giving old people some hope because it's really like, because I know most kids right now, they'll be like on TikTok or on something doing those challenges, that crazy stuff. And yes, there's still some, I mean, not even some, a lot, who wants to make a difference in the world, not just by um doing crazy stuff or challenges online. Actually, they do challenge, you guys do challenges, but this is the productive challenge, and it's actually making a difference in the community, which I really appreciate, and I'm very happy to have you on the show because of that. And for all you guys, please check out her org. Is it a nonprofit?
It is a nonprofit. It's not officially, but there's no money involved at all.
Okay, no money involved. So it is a nonprofit, and yes, it's still in the works. So people who think in your 20s, 30s, or even 40s that you think you can't do anything and you're getting depressed at COVID, you can make a nonprofit during this time. Just like these teenagers, just like Sophie. Because I know, because sometimes it's hard, to break a habit, especially for for older people to break a habit. And I think this stories that I bring out would inspire other people to also do something, do what they love, do something that is close to their heart, and do something with their time, right?
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah, because I know, like, I mean, how much Netflix shows can you watch anyway, right?
Exactly. No, I do.
So,
I agree. I think it's really important just to find something that you're passionate about and something you want to focus on. And once you kind of establish that, then you can really just grow from there.
yeah, because I like that because sometimes we have this question, what will I do now?
Hmm.
And then most people will just keep on asking, what will they do now? And
Yeah.
time is actually moving. Like for me, when I had my show, actually, I was thankful too for my friends because they said, "Do you want to do an online talk show?" Because I do have one, which is the first one, which is Expose and Express with a couple of my friends. When we did that one, they're like, "You know what? We could do it online." That's when do it, and then after that they said, you know what, you could do it in your own show because I have some time because I have to be in several expos and conventions and they all got canceled.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're like, yeah, let's go live online and do things. And guess what, I met Sophie. And you guys get to meet Sophie as well, and we learned so much about your cause as well, right? So, see, guys, just do it. This is what I always say. And that's one thing about, I would say, teenagers. You are actually more fearless or courageous to try new things. And it's a good reminder for us to really think of what we like and use this time to do it, right?
Exactly. I know. We have all this free time these days. We gotta find something that you're passionate about and, do something with it. I agree.
So again, guys, don't forget, check out her organization. It's Foodology Alliance.org. And it's a support group for those with food allergies or for those without food allergies but know somebody, they have friends who had allergies. I would say loved ones who had food allergies, or you simply just want to know more about food allergies, right?
Yep, exactly. It's really a place for anybody. So I feel like anybody can learn from it. So I'm so excited. I hope that I am able to meet some new members soon. Just fill out the contact form on the website. And I'm excited to hear from you.
Oh, guys, thank you so much, Sophie. It was really fun chatting with you.
Oh, of course. Thank you
And
so much for having me. This was such a wonderful opportunity, and I really appreciate it.
yeah, so thank you so much, for sharing us some positivity and also some real life things about food allergies and what we could do, even though, we have restrictions. Because I would always say food allergies is a restriction
Mhm.
for us, but we don't take, that restriction as something that would tell us it's the end of the world. It's just a restriction, but it's not the end of the world, right? And then,
Exactly.
and it's there's so much to do, so much that we could accomplish even though we have these restrictions. So guys, thank you so much for joining us in the show, and I hope to see you again next week as we prepare for the New Year's. Yes, we're going to say goodbye to 2020. And next week will be our last show for 2020. And we have a very special guest. Her name is Jenny O'Malley of Purple Light Reiki Healing. And it will be a very inspiring, and also it's an exciting way to end the year by doing some personal healing. So don't forget, next week on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's 5 p.m. Pacific, and also it's mm, Thursday. Thursday morning in Manila time. So don't forget, next week we have another episode for Getting Candid with Rochie, and I hope to see you there. And for those who are in YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe or like this video so that you won't miss another video soon. So thank you, and hope to see you next week, guys. Merry Christmas and enjoy the holidays and enjoy all the food. See you next week. Bye.